I think what we have to do is realize that we have a problem. We have a debt problem. We're at 31.4 trillion of public debt right now. And all we're saying is, should we not make sure that we all recognize how we got there?
So Joe Manchin, fresh off his high five with Kirsten Sinema at Davos, is saying, like, I'm just saying there's a lot of debt. And so when the Republicans are talking about Social Security, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying maybe we got to work with them. But he has more thoughts on this. Here's what he plans to do.
Let's take the trust funds, whether it's Medicare, Social Security, or Highway Trust. You can't let those go defunct as far as, and what we're saying is we have a trust act. And we would put different committees, bipartisan, bicameral committees together to look at each one of the trusts and come up with solutions of how you fix it. We're not getting rid of anything, and you can't scare the bejesus out of people saying we're going to get rid of Social Security, we're going to privatize. That's not going to happen. But we should be able to solidify it so the people that have worked and earned it know they're going to get it. And that's what we're talking about. And I've talked to Kevin McCarthy briefly about that. I'm going to spend more time to find out how we can bring things together.
So Joe Manchin wants to help the Republicans cut Social Security and probably also Medicare and Medicaid. Let's be very clear about that. He's using a word salad to try to hide that fact. And he's trying to reassure you by saying, oh, we can't be scaring people talking about getting rid of it. First of all, nobody is saying that you're gonna utterly get rid of Social Security. We're just rightly scared about the things you will actually do. And as scared as we are of them happening, you appear to be just as scared of being clear and upfront about what you plan to do, because you'll notice that he didn't there, nor will they ever say, we're gonna raise the age for you to be able to qualify for Social Security. If you're 50 now, look forward to a couple more grinding years of daily labor before you're able to get what you've been paying into your whole life. Oh, also, we're not gonna give you as much money when you finally get it. Oh, sure, if you're already on it right now, or if you're gonna qualify in a year or two, we know that you vote, so we're not gonna screw you over. But if you're like 40 now, no, we're going to steal some of that money from you. Every single check you'll eventually get from Social Security, we're gonna take a portion of it that should be yours, and you're just not gonna get it. Oh, and you're also gonna have to wait a couple years before you qualify for it, so we're stealing those years too. That's what they want to do. They know how little support there would be for it, which is why they will never admit it. But just look ahead to a month from now, 2 months from now, when they come out with their report, that is exactly what they're gonna be calling for. Brett, what do you think?
I think that there is this feeling that a lot of people who are not engaged that much in politics have, which is, yeah, you can't spend more money than you have. And then there is this other instinct in people that's like, stay away from my Social Security, stay away from my Medicare. I like those things. When you ask people if they like those things, they like those things. When those two things come to a head, you're always going to lose if you're convincing people that you're cutting Medicare and you're cutting Social Security. You are always gonna lose. It is, for as much as they scold Democrats for saying like, you treat your people like you're so high and mighty when it comes to being moral and telling people they can't talk a certain way or be a certain way. The Republicans are the ones who are like, no, you can't have food on the table, grandpa. That's what they're saying. And in these situations, since essentially Keynes said, let's try paying money and taking on debt and seeing what happens. There has been a growing middle class in America that has only been shrunken by such things as neoliberalism and the attempt to get rid of those protections. Mm-hmm. That's it. Like that, the correlating factor is whether we're investing in the people. And like as FDR said, he's like, the only reason I'm saying there's a quote Social Security tax is no one would believe it could work without feeling like they're paying into the system. Now, I hope that Keynes and modern monetary theorists to a certain extent are like right in all this. But in the meantime, just strictly politically, Manchin's doing all he can to try to say like, remember that you can't run a business with a negative balance, and I don't know, like bipartisanship is good. So let's talk about the virtues of that and hope that it blinds people to the fact that they need to eat and have medicine when they get old.
Yeah, it's gonna be wildly unpopular. He's gonna try to go along with it. We'll see how many other people line up with him. Probably Sinema, if I'm guessing.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.